characteristic that innovative teaching pedagogy nowadays, it is a shared responsibility. We teachers only teaches the subject, but students also needs to discuss the topic. For example, if we ask any question from the any question to the students also need to discuss, sir, why it is happening, how it is happening. These are the things they have to ask. When we were a student, we didn't ask any questions. The teacher used to come and taught everything, the subject, everything, but we don't ask any questions. But nowadays, the responsibility is shared between the teacher as well as student. Okay. In traditional method, the burden only lies on the staff, the teaching staff. But modern teaching emphasizes collaboration. Collaboration means between the students and teachers. The teachers must create interactive lessons. Interactive lessons means we have to discuss with the students. Then only they will interact with us. If we more strict, they will not discuss with us, because the professor is very strict. If we ask anything, they won't give answers. So that they won't listen our words. Okay. So there is some two things is there. One is active listening, another one is passive listening. Active listening means what? If they really understand, they will ask questions. Passive listening means if we taught any subjects, they seeing us and they can take notes, but they won't ask any question. That is called passive listening. Passive listening means what we tell, they will do. Otherwise, they won't do anything newly. Okay. That is what the difference between active listening and passive listening. If we come to active listening, they will we can say some discussions, we can develop through some discussions, problem solving method, giving group tasks, so that the responsibility shared between the teacher as well as the students. The next one is avoiding monotony. Monotony means if we do the same work repetitive, we will get bored. For example, if I took the account subject in all the semester, all the years, I will bored, because we are giving the same subject, same year in all the years. Okay. So we cannot, we will get bored. So that we need to use some innovative teaching method, such as case studies, debates, role plays, and storytelling, etc. I have here 17 techniques which will give some innovative teaching methods. Okay. So I will tell you later. These are the characteristics of innovative teaching methodology. The next one is rising need for creativity. Nowadays, the company asks the different skills from students. How they will develop skill from our students? They do by project-based learning, brainstorming sessions, design thinking, etc. Then only their creative thinking will develop. Because nowadays company asks the experienced workers, how the students after completion of third year will get experience. It is not that easy, because if they creatively means they need to give some extra work. They also have to share some extra knowledge. Okay. For example, if we give group discussion, they need to prepare, the students need to prepare, and they have to discuss with the students, the fellow students. Okay. By encouraging students to think differently and create solution, innovative teaching promotes critical thinking and innovation. We also need to encourage the students to discuss any subjects, any topic in the class. Next, use of digital tools. Digital tools means Google Classroom, Kahoot, and Canva. Kahoot is a platform for we can say the quiz. We can conduct quiz program through this Kahoot platform, and Canva is used for creating PPTs. And we know that Google Classroom is also we already used in the um, Corona time. We have used the Google Meet and Google Classroom to upload the teaching materials, PPTs, so that the students can download anytime. And they used to give assignment through Google Classroom. These are the things through, we done in the Corona period. So digital tools also important in innovative teaching method. By leveraging this technology, we are simplifying the assessments and feedback and resource sharing and improving the overall learning experience. In what way we are mm, in what way we are improving their learning experience? We are giving assignment through Google Classroom and get back the assignment through Google Classroom and giving mark in the Google Classroom itself. This is called use of digital tools. The next one is student centered learning. I already told you the first slide itself. The earlier stage learning is teacher centered learning. The professor will come and teach. Now the teaching environment totally changes. The student come to class with some basic knowledge and discuss with the professor. If any doubts, he must ask the professor. That is what the student center learning um, in the class. Okay. Approaches like flipped classroom enable students to learn basic concepts independently and apply them during the class activities. This method builds confidence, self-reliance, and a deep understanding. Okay. Here also they have mentioned rather than being passive listeners, students actively participate through group discussions only, peer learning, and problem-solving techniques. Because if we the student centered learning gives the students also come to discussion with the professors in the particular topic, so that the other students also know how the concept is going. The next one is enhanced accessibility. Enhanced accessibility means technology makes education more inclusive and accessible to all learners, regardless of location or background. Because nowadays we know that all the students are using mobile phones. Even in the classroom itself, they are using. Under the desk, they are using the mobile phones and they are chatting with their friends and seeing reels. Okay. So they are more attached with the um, smartphones. Okay. So they won't listen us. So that we need to give some recorded lectures, online resources, e-learning platforms, websites, so that they can learn they can learn anything from us. For example, we can create our own videos in the particular topic and post it in our YouTube channel, and the link shared to the students, so that the students will use the resources. Okay, so that they can study anything and anything and every place he can study. Okay. The next one is greater student engagement. Innovative strategies encourage active participation and make learning more enjoyable. Gamification techniques like points, badges, and leaderboards motivate students to perform better. In greater students engagement tells about if the students participate actively, the staff, the professor must give some points, some marks, some badges, some appreciative words. Then only the student will encourage, engaged. Okay. Otherwise, they won't do anything. We need to appreciate them. Very good. Or at least I will give you 1 mark. I will give you 2 mark. This is the way we need to encourage the students. Otherwise, they won't do anything. So the blended learning combines online activities with classroom discussions to create a balanced learning experience. I will tell you the blended learning in the upcoming slide because it comes under the techniques of innovative teaching. So I will tell you later. Okay, but the blended learning concept is uh, it is a combined classroom of online as well as offline, and we need to incorporate some storytelling also. How we tell stories, the success stories of businessmen, and giving quizzes to the students, comprises of 10 quizzes or 20 questions. We need to give to the students, then they will answer. Okay, and giving group projects to keep the students engaged and improve retention. Okay, then real world relevance. This also I already told the company more expecting on experience because nowadays the students are using mobile phones, laptops, everything. When we were a students, if we want to learn MS Office or Tally, we need to go to the one computer center and learn everything. But nowadays, students seeing YouTube videos itself, they learned everything. So the company is also expecting some extra skills. If they know Tally, they need to know GST also, GST filing. So the students are expecting from us to work with the GST concept also. So by showing students practical value of what they learn, teachers enhance motivation and improve problem solving abilities. We need to give some field visits. For example, in some subjects, we can bring the students to any companies or like that. Okay, that is called as real world relevance. The next 10th character is cultivation of soft skills. Soft skills means communication, teamwork, collaboration, how they are taking decisions, their leadership skill are only evolved through the innovative teaching pedagogy. If we taught in the traditional method, they only listen what we are saying. If we tell the concepts in of the subject, they will listen, but they won't apply. That is what the traditional classroom is lagging. Okay. Now we move to the next part of this session is innovative teaching techniques. The first technique is flipped classroom. What is mean by a flipped classroom? Flipped classroom is nothing but the traditional classroom. What we used to do, we will take class, the student will take notes, and we will give some homework. But the flipped classroom is totally different. The student will learn the topic and the basic concept from their home itself. They will come to class and solve the difficult sums. Okay. For example, imagine I am teaching management accounting subjects. In that subject, the student will learn ratio analysis in the home itself. They will come to class, they will ask some questions regarding the different ratios, the leverage ratios, profitability ratios, solvency ratios, like that. Okay. So that the flipped classroom is totally reversed from the traditional classroom. A flipped classroom reverses the traditional teaching approach. Students learn concept at home through videos or readings, while classroom time is used for practical applications and discussions. For example, in flipped classroom, we can also take a video of the ratio analysis and publish in the YouTube platform, and we make the students learn from their home itself, and they will come back to class with we can give some companies data to the students, so that they will do in the class itself. If they have any doubt, ask the staff. This is what the flipped classroom works. Okay. The key features is pre-class learning through recorded lectures or e-content. The student will learn from e-content. E-content means the NPTL or our own YouTube channels. They will go and learn everything. Okay. In class, problem solvings and case studies. If we take principles of marketing or business management subjects, we can give some case studies also to engage the students. Okay. Here, in ratio analysis, I have attached one link also. Here I take the Tansky syllabus. Wait a minute. Here for example, I taken Tansky syllabus for better understanding. In the ratio analysis topic, we can give, for example, if we take profitability ratios, we need to suggest some videos to the students. They will see the video in the home itself. They will see the video and they will come back to us, and we will give some the real world examples. For example, we can give some Reliance company data to them, or Tata Motors company, so that they will do the real world experience. We can give some simple ratios also, like current ratio, quick ratio, gross profit ratio, net profit ratio, like that we can give, so that the student will understand how how to calculate really the ratio analysis. The second one is blended learning. Blended learning means it is a combination of offline and online teaching. Okay. What is means it online and offline teaching? What we do in Corona time, we used to take classes in online. Okay. In Google Meet, in Zoom, we take classes. Now we are taking classes through offline. In some topics, we can do classes through online also. For example, we take some easy subject, simple subject, like principles of marketing. In principles of marketing, we can give introduction class through online. We can do some difficult classes through offline classes. Okay. Here I have taken an example of business communication. The students learn email writing techniques offline and then use online email simulation tool to draft and send a professional business emails for real-time feedback. If you see the any biscuit packet, there will be some email ID, so that we can encourage the students to take that email ID and give feedback about the particular biscuit packet, biscuit brand. Okay, so that we can tell the student, the business. Sorry, the student will learn about what the real life situation. Okay, here also I attached one link. in blended learning, we can take the introduction to business communication class. Not all the topics. We can take the importance of effective communication through online mode, and other topics we can do through offline mode. Okay. How this is the way we can use the blended learning method. The next one is project based learning. Project based learning focuses on long term project where students apply commerce concept to real world businesses. Okay, here I took the management accounting subject. Here the students can take any company and they can do some balance sheet analysis, P&L account analysis, cash flow statement and fund flow statement, so that they will make some separate project and they will develop some skills. Okay, we can do other subject also, business analytics, entrepreneurship development, corporate accounting also. If we take entrepreneurship development, we can also give some other concept also. We can say that tell the student prepare a business plan, so that they will prepare a business plan for some business. Okay, this is the way the project based learning works. The next one is using virtual reality technology. Virtual reality technology means they will give some goggles to you. By putting that, we can see the different situation. So like that, here I have given example in a HRM class. Students learn the recruitment and the selection process offline, and then use VR simulations to conduct a virtual interview, assessing candidate skills in a realistic 3D environment. We can take here also we can do some blended learning concept. We can take class of recruitment and selection process through offline, and then the students will learn through some virtual reality techniques. That is, they will attend the interview, and the HR will assessing the candidates' skills based on the virtual reality concepts. Then design thinking process. Design thinking focuses on creative problem solving using empathy, innovation, and prototyping to develop business solution. Here I have a concept example of principles of marketing. In a class, a student learn branding concepts offline and then use to design thinking process to create new brand identity. They empathize with the target customers, ideate brand names and logos, prototype designs using Canva, and test them through online polls for audience feedback. If we give if we give any brand to them, they will create as imitative brand like that. For example, if we give the Britannia, so that they will develop the other product and they will give you some newer names, newer logos, and the newer designs using Canva. They will give a better understanding. The next one is inquiry based learning. Inquiry based learning is encourages to students to ask question, research, analyze information independently. Here I have taken e-commerce subject. In e-commerce subject, student explores the question: how do brands go viral on Instagram? They analyze trending campaigns, study engagement metrics, and design their own social media strategy based on research findings. Inquiry based learning is also like project based learning. We need to tell the students to take any of the product and analyze the strategy, the analyze the strategy that the company follows, and why their brand is brand values more, so that the student will analyze through asking questions from the customers. Okay, that is called as inquiry based learning. Here, teacher acts as a facilitator, not lecturer, involves deep investigation of topics and promotes critical thinking. We need to develop the critical thinking of the students. We need to tell the students to take any of the brand and take and why the public um, using the brand. It is like same like the project based learning. The next one is Jigsaw method. The Jigsaw technique divides a topic into several parts, assign each group to become an expert, and then they teach their peers. It is also otherwise called as peer teaching. For example, if we take auditing subject, we will give a different topic to different group of students. In a class we have 60 students, means we can take we can divide as a 10 group. Each group we can give a different topic. For example, one group we can give appointment of an auditor, another group we can give removal of an auditor, and another group we can give rights and duties of an auditor, so that um, the difference of teaching they will understand. The student will teach their fellow students. For example, in a group they consist of 6 students. They will teach appointment of an auditor. What are those situations for appointment of auditor is prevailing, so that the other students also they will know the concept very well. Likewise, we can give the removal of an auditor, rights and duties of an auditor. So the students teaching the students. Here the teacher work is very very low, because the group of students teaches the other students. For example, if we take example of 60 students, one group of students is 6. So the 6 students will teach the remaining 54 students. And then the group 2 will come and they will teach the concept to other students. This is the way the Jigsaw method works. Then crossover teaching. Crossover teaching integrates concept from multiple commerce subjects for holistic learning. Here, the teacher must interrelated all the topics and all the subject. If we are teaching marketing subject, we need to tell the analytics also, business analytics. There is one analytics is also program is also conducted by Google itself. That is the Google Analytics. How the website are seen by the different people, the public. That is called the business analytics work. And as well as we can tell the HRM and organizational behavior. HRM, human resource management, and how it works in organization. So this is the way we can combine the both subjects in a class. So this is called crossover teaching. There must be some similarities in two subjects. So we need to tell that the similarities between the subject to the students. The next one is personalized learning. Personalized learning means based on the student interest, based on the student learning speed, based on the strength of the student, we can give them the particular topic to the students and they will learn. And we can do some quiz to the students, so that we can analyze the performance of the students. Here, in a cost accounting class, students take a diagnostic quiz on the preparation of a cost sheet based on their performance. Beginner receive step-by-step video tutorials explaining the elements of prime cost, factory cost, factory cost, and the cost of production, cost of sales, like that. The advanced learner will practice the real life cost sheet with the case studies from the manufacturing companies. Okay. For example, here we need to differentiate the slow learners and advanced learners. For example, here we can use the flipped classroom. We can produce one video in cost sheet, and we ask the students to prepare this cost sheet in the home itself, study the cost sheet in the home itself, and after come to college, we can ask questions, quiz questions, in what expenses will come under, in what head it will come under, factory cost or administrative cost or selling and distribution cost, so that we can ask the question. If based on the answers from the students, we can differ the students. This is slow learner, this is advanced learner students, so that we can give some extra video tutorials to the slow learners to understand the concept, and the advanced learners we can give some practical life examples. So it is called personalized learning. The next one is gamification concept. Gamification applies game-based elements like badges, leaderboards, and points to make learning fun and competitive. Gaming techniques means we can conduct some quiz test. Okay, we can make them the students to study the financial services subject. We can conduct quiz program to the students. They will say the answers. If they say right answers, we can appreciate the students, so that they will motivated. Next time they will come forward to tell the answers. Otherwise, they won't do. Gamification is only for motivate the students. If you ask the student, they will come forward to answer every questions. The next one is problem based learning. Problem based learning means it is also a real life situation. In entrepreneurial development class, students follow problem based learn approach, where they are given a startup idea and tasked with developing a complete business plan. For example, in a class, if you ask what you want to be, what you are going to do after your degree, if you ask this question, student definitely will tell, "Sir, I am going to be an entrepreneur." Okay, and next ask this question: what kind of business you are going to start? Definitely they will tell, "Sir, I am going to ask a restaurant or a tea shop." Okay, then you can tell the students, just prepare a market research and a business plan, so that they will prepare somehow they will prepare some 2 pages report. Okay, for example, how what is the material you need, and how much investment you require, how you will acquire the raw materials, and where you will start your business. These are the things, if you ask, they will prepare, and they will incorporate those details in their um, business plan report. Okay, this is called problem based learning, because student are nowadays want to be an entrepreneur. If you ask any students, they want to be an entrepreneur. Instead of going to any company, instead of going to work in any company, they are telling that, "Sir, I want to go, I want to start a new company, or I want to start a new shop, restaurant," like that. So that students, you can give this kind of training to them. Okay. The next one is mistake-led teaching. Mistake-led teaching means, here also I have an example in cost accounting syllabus. We can do some intentional mistakes and make the students to correct the mistakes. For example, in a flipped classroom itself, I told you that the students will learn the concept, the basic concept in the home itself. The next day, they come to the class, we will give the different situation. Likewise, here we can give the cost sheet with some mistakes. For example, instead of putting some factory cost, we can put into the administrative or selling and distribution cost. so that the students will rectify the errors. This is called as mistake-led teaching. Here, the students learn from errors by analyzing mistakes and understanding the correct methodology. Okay. For example, factory rent, where it will come under the factory overhead. We can put it in the selling and distribution cost. If we give to the student need to identify whether it will come under factory cost or selling and distribution cost or administrative cost. Okay, administrative overhead, so that the student will understand the concept clearly. But they need to practice in the home itself, because we need to give the cost sheet format. He will memorize first, and they will come to class. We issue the question to the students. He will identify which cost will come under which overhead, so that the student will understand the entire cost sheet. Okay. The next one is collaborative learning. I already told you the characters itself. There is a shared responsibility. Okay, the students also need to discuss, and the teacher also some have to. The teachers also have some open mind to accept what the students is telling. Okay, here in the collaborative learning, we make the students to prepare a business plan. Here I am only telling the examples. You can adapt this technology for any subjects, but I am telling you some important subjects. Here the entrepreneurship development, we can give the students can prepare the business plan for launching a startup, dividing roles among finance, marketing, operations, and HR teams. You can select some group of students, 5 or 6 students, and you can tell them to prepare a business plan. You can tell it is a startup with a partnership business. Each one needs to prepare their own report. For example, if one person is an accountant, another person is a manager, another one is a supervisor of the business. In the different way, we are giving them to the different task, giving the students. They will prepare the entire business plan and submit as a report to the professor. Okay, this is called collaborative learning. Collaborative learning means it is the combined efforts of the students. Then 14th point is experiential learning. Experiential learning means by doing some work, we will get some experience. Okay, that is called as experiential learning. In logistics management, we can bring the students to port or a shipment area. We can make the students to understand how the product is exported and imported in the port, so that the student will learn from the experience itself. Okay, we can do for the other subject also. Marketing also we can do. In what way we can do? We can bring the students to a textile shop, how they are selling their product, how they are selling their products, so that the student will understand practically. Experiential learning means practical learning. And the next one is kinesthetic learning. Kinesthetic learning is also experiential learning. For example, if you taught a tally in the class, they will work out it in the lab. For example, if you take the journal entries in the classroom, they will work out in the lab. Students enter live business transaction tally prime, generate financial statements, reports, inventory summaries to simulate real world accounting process. Nowadays, students are asking, sir, please start us the GST filing concept, so that we can use this technique. We can teach the student how to file a GST. Okay, so that the student will work in the lab and do for others also. For those who are needed GST filing, the students will also do the same. Okay, that is called as kinesthetic learning. The next one is role play teaching. Role play teaching is also a real world business scenarios. Here I have taken the HRM subject. Here it is also a group learning because we need to take two or three students. Okay, one student act as a HR manager, another student as an interview. Okay, interviewee. So that one student will ask question to the another student, the another student will tell the answer. Okay, here we can make it as a group activity, or else we can do a group of five students, four maybe an interview panel, and one is the candidate, so that we can conduct this as a group activity. The student, other student also will engage in that particular activity. The last one is mind mapping and visual learning. Mind mapping means instead of telling all the concept, teaching all the concept, if we give the mind map, that is the um, how what is the meaning, definition, then the importance of marketing, then the advantages of marketing, the disadvantages of marketing. If we give the mind mapping, the students definitely will learn uh, the entire topics, the headings. For example, in advantages of marketing, we have 5 or 10 advantages of marketing, and at the same time, we have disadvantages of marketing. We are having 5 disadvantages. By telling the heading itself, the students will draw a mind map, so that without studying entire concept, by understanding the heading itself, they will know the entire concept. So it is called mind mapping. Okay. In principles of management subject, the mind map they can give for functions of management. In functions of management means planning, organizing, directing, like that. Okay, ports guard. We can draw a ports guard model, so that the students will able to learn without studying in the entire concept. We can the students can see itself. They will learn. Okay, that is called as mind mapping or visual learning. Okay. Thank you for your patient listening.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much, sir, for that
Thank you.
enlightening and thought provoking session.
Thank you, ma'am.
To bring this evening to a graceful close, I invite Dr. R. Chitra, Assistant Professor of Commerce General, JP College of Arts and Science, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening to one and all present here. On behalf of our Department of Commerce, it is my privilege to honor to deliver the vote of thanks on this inspiring day 3 of our faculty development program. First and foremost, I would like to thank God Almighty to complete this program in grand success. And I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our respected correspondent, Reverend Sister Dr. I. Arogya Mary, and our beloved sister, Reverend Sister Jude Lissa, and our Honorable Principal, Dr. J. Michael Mariadas, for their constant encouragement, support, and guidance in organizing such meaningful program for faculty development. A very special word of thanks to today's distinguished resource person, Dr. Muhammad Buhari Salim, Assistant Professor, Department of BCom, Information System Management, the New College Autonomous, Chennai. Sir, your insightful session on Ignite Innovation Teaching Pedagogy was truly enlightening. You have shown us how teaching can be beyond traditional method, how creativity and innovation can transform classrooms, and how we are as educator can ignite the spark of learning in our student. Your practical strategy and inspiring idea will certainly help us in reshaping the teaching practices. also thank our head of the department and the faculty member who worked tirelessly the scenes to make today's section successful. Last but not least, my sincere thanks to all the participants of your enthusiastic presence and active involvement, which has made the session more vibrant and interactive. With this, we conclude today's program. Thank you, one and all present here.
Thank you, ma'am. With that, we conclude today's session. Thank you, everyone, for your presence and participation. Let us carry forward today's learning into tomorrow with the same enthusiasm. Have a wonderful evening ahead. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Excellent, sir. Very informative session. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Participants, kindly fill the feedback form in the chat box.